Luke chapter 18 from verse 9, Jesus Christ tells us a story that brings each one of us, you and I, to a place of confidence, of faith, that we can approach God in our sinful state and receive His validation, receive His approval, and be justified before Him just by coming. And there He showed that it does not necessarily matter. What matters is that we come. And then, when we come, we will receive that transforming power. Jesus told the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. And the essence of this parable is to give confidence to the sinner that God will accept him if he would come just as he is. He revealed that God does not demand a man to deal with his sins and be righteous before he comes, but that the man may trust in the power of God to transform him, and so as he is, come to God in his sinful state. And so let's go through the parable, and it will give you the needed faith to be confident in the saving power of God to rescue you from those things you are still struggling with and have been unable to overcome. Jesus told the story to some who had great confidence in their own righteousness and scorned everyone else. Two men went to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other a despised tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed this prayer: I thank you, God, that I am not like the other people, cheaters, sinners, adulterers. I am certainly not like that tax collector. I fast twice a week and I give a tenth of my income. But the tax collector stood at a distance and dared not to even lift his eyes to heaven as he prayed. Instead, he beat his chest in sorrow, saying, O God, be merciful to me, for I am a sinner. I tell you, this sinner, not the Pharisee, returned home justified before God. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled. Those who humble themselves will be exalted. He said it was the sinner that went home justified before God and not the Pharisee. Why? Because the sinner has finally accepted defeat, that he cannot help himself and liberate himself from the sins in his life. And so he turned to God and trust in the power of God to transform him and deal with his struggle with sin. Whereas the Pharisees trust in his own power to live righteously, to live perfectly before God. And it did not depend on the power of God. And so he was rejected